You guys, it's Halloween! Okay, so first tutorial of the year, and this is a UV pumpkin. As you probably could have guessed, what I love about it is it's so simple. It literally requires two products, a UV face paint and a black gel liner. That's literally it. And maybe some basic knowledge of what a carved pumpkin looks like, but really, you don't even have to do a pumpkin. You could get a totally different color face paint and use it as your base with some black liner and do a totally different look. It's entirely up to you, but today I'm doing a pumpkin. Let's get started. So, I am using a water-activated cake makeup for this look. You can use any kind of UV makeup that you can get your hands on, but honestly, I have ordered other UV products in previous years, and I've never ended up doing a tutorial with them because they're kind of lame looking under a black light. This is the most pigmented product I've ever used, and so would totally recommend it. So like I said, it is water-activated. I put a couple of drops directly into the cake of makeup, swirled my brush around, and just went in for application. Now, what I learned in using this, especially over the broader area of my face, is that too much water creates a thinner consistency, which can lead to more streaks and means you need to do more layering to get full opacity. If you end up working with a similar kind of product for this look, I recommend starting small with the amount of liquid you add to it and really work it into a paste from there to minimize the amount of layering that you have to do. So first, I am starting with the nose, just drawing a couple little notches here to make it appear like it's hollowed out. This is kind of a skeletal sort of looking nose. You could do a regular triangle nose or no nose at all. That's the great thing if you're going for the jack-o'-lantern look. You can really do a lot of different things with it, and honestly, I just went to Pinterest and pinned a lot of pumpkins, and then from there, this is kind of the product of all of those mashed together on my face. The other thing I did here that you probably saw before this, but forgot to mention until now, is I did line my waterline with a pencil liner. You could totally use whatever gel you have on hand if you find that works in your waterline and is comfortable for you. I just find that a pencil tends to work best for me, so that is one more product that I used here, but you can really just use what works for you. So then I go in and start working on the hollow of my eye. I'm using a liner brush to work on the outline so it's nice and crisp, but then I later go in with a larger brush so I can really start making good work and filling that in quickly. Moving on to the mouth. I really wanted one of those jagged, scary mouths that I always see on pumpkins, but am far too lazy to carve myself. This is a lot easier. So here I am drawing kind of almost tear looking structures that get gradually larger as I get up my cheeks and towards my ears. I'm really not being too precise. In fact, they kind of look like flames as I'm just drawing the outline, but once they get filled in, things start to make sense and it looks more like a jagged, scary mouth. While we're on the topic of laziness, and we have time because I'm still filling my mouth in, this took forever by the way, but lazy, right. You'll see glimpses of my neck makeup here, and I did get a good portion of the way down my neck and even some on my ears, but honestly, I got lazy, and I ended up just doing these kind of brush-like strokes down my neck, which turned out looking very cool and almost clown-like, so you don't have to be too precise there, and in case you were wondering what I did, that's what it was, pure laziness. Now on to drawing the lines on the pumpkin. I didn't want to have a line running down the center of my face. I just wasn't a fan of that symmetry. And so I used basically the inner corner of both of my eyebrows and basically where that highest point on my eyes is as a guide for where I wanted those lines to fall on my face. Then I basically positioned everything relative to those, making sure they were relatively evenly spaced. But again, nothing super precise here. This is a messy, scary, maybe even a murderous pumpkin. I don't know. Bottom line is we're not worrying about keeping things too clean. You'll notice I started with softer lines and I'm now going over to create deeper lines. I went in first with a black shadow just because I wasn't quite sure where I wanted everything to be. You don't have to, it's just what I used as a rough guide before I went full on pigmented liner. And to make it seem like all of these carvings are actually in a pumpkin, I kind of brought those negative spaces up into the grooves. I'm just drawing that black liner up into some of those lines just to make it look more three-dimensional, like it's actually carved into a textured pumpkin and not just drawn on. To match the haphazard placement of the UV paint, I went in with these random brush strokes. Rather than drawing the same uniform lines I have on my face, I'm just doing some random strokes along my neck, not really caring about intensity, direction, anything like that, because honestly, all the focus is on the face. Now that could be where you end this look and have a totally spectacular UV pumpkin, but if you've been with me on the channel before, you know I love a good Halloween contact. So that is exactly what I did. I got some UV glow contacts and I feel like they really complete the look. So that's it from me, you guys. Really hope you enjoyed this easy Halloween tutorial. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye, guys!